Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin al-Fatihi lima ughliqa lima sabaqa nasiril haqq bil haqq wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning. Alhamdulillah. Tuan Haji Zulkifli Wahijan, President of Muslim Care Media Society, MCMS. Tuan Haji Muhammad Azmi Abdul Hamid, President of Malaysia Consultative Council of Islamic Organization, Mahathir. Mr. Badruddin Siam, Chairman of Palestine Cultural Organization Malaysia, Ppim. Members, esteemed guests, distinguished panelists, head of NGOs, of humanitarian aid to Gaza. This is not just a press conference, it's a plea for humanity, a call to end the suffering of innocent lives and an existence on the principle of compassion and justice. It has been more than a month since the ongoing Israel aggression in Palestine. As of yesterday, 11,240 martyrs, 29,000 wounded, 1.5 billion displaced, 222,300 buildings partially damaged, 41,120 units completely destroyed, 253 schools severely damaged, 94 government headquarters severely damaged, 71 mosques completely damaged, 3 churches severely damaged, and more than 4,500 dead children and 3,000 women, civilians, journalists, United Nations staff, and healthcare workers were recorded in the both Gaza Strip and West Bank. The blockade that has persisted in Gaza has created a dire humanitarian crisis, affecting the life of countless individuals, including women, children, and the elderly. It is a situation that demands our immediate attention, a collective outcry against the injustice that leaves people in desperate need without the basic necessities for survival. For that, I hereby hand over the media session to Y.A.Bhg Tun, the head activist of Muslim Consumer Association of Malaysia, to preside the session and to address our distinguished panelists. Silakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat hampir tengah hari. Alhamdulillah, kita dapat berjumpa hari ini pada saya di Satu Rukun Islam Malaysia, dan semua kami di sini mengucapkan berbanyak terima kasih kepada of course, yang paling penting kita bertuah sebenarnya. Kita bertuah kerana kita ada suara hari ini. Pasal kadang-kadang kita bercakap, when we speak loud but nobody listens to us. So in this session today, what we are trying to get is that the message of this blockade must be removed, must come from somebody that the world all over all over the world are expecting something, some statement that would be able to open the eyes or to do whatever we could to make sure that the blockade would be somehow removed, because we have aids. We have been giving so many whatever, whether it's food or medical or whatever. It doesn't mean anything if we cannot reach our victims. So ceritanya we got this idea, but of course, as nobody could speak better than Tun, kita pergi jumpa Tun, memang dia ada idea macam tu juga, tapi dia nak kena orang-orang muda sikit lah yang bawa kepada Tun. Jadi Tun bersetuju, jadi itulah kita panggil hari ini. Kita harap suara Tun ini akan bergema di satu dunia. Dan saya rasa pasal ada yang cakap kita appeal. Memang kita appeal, tapi tak tahulah Tun, saya serah betul. Tapi kita, rakyat cukup dah tak dapat terima apa yang berlaku di luar sana. So we call for everybody. We have influencers, many kat sini, kita ada reporters and whatever, to make sure the news will be carried throughout the world. InsyaAllah, we believe so. Jadi, I think with that, my humble request for you to make your, whatever you want to say, that I think could bring across the message itself.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera kepada hadirin sekalian. Ya, saya bersetuju untuk mengadakan satu pertemuan untuk menjelaskan pendirian, bukan saja pendirian saya, tapi pendirian ramai daripada manusia di seluruh dunia. Apa yang kita lihat sekarang ini ialah kelainan pendirian antara pemerintah ataupun government dengan rakyat. Rakyat sedar tentang kezaliman yang sedang berlaku, tetapi kerajaan mempunyai dasar seolah-olah ini bukanlah satu kezaliman, bahkan untuk menyelamatkan satu bangsa. Apa yang berlaku sekarang ini luar biasa. Ya, di zaman-zaman dulu memang pun satu daripada cara untuk menawal musuh ialah dengan mengadakan siege. Ada bandar-bandar dahulu, apabila dianya diserang bandar itu, maka musuh akan mengelilingi bandar itu dan sekat segala bekalan bagi bandar itu. Sehinggalah penduduk dalam bandar itu terpaksa makan tikus umpamanya, kerana sudah tidak ada makanan, tidak ada bekalan air dan sebagainya. Itu di zaman dulu. Di zaman yang kita anggap kita kurang bertamadun, uncivilized. But now we claim that we are civilized people, and we feel that certain things that were done in the past should not be done now. Unfortunately, we are seeing the practice of the past coming back to in wars between nations. We realize, of course, that during the Nazi regime of Germany, the Nazi Germans wanted to kill all the Jews as a final solution. Their solution to the Jewish problem was to kill all of them. And they carried this out. In the end, of course, they managed to kill about 6 million people. They would have killed a lot more if the rest of the world did not take action. The rest of the world consists of the Western Alliance and also Russia. They combine, they work together to defeat Germany and put a stop to the Holocaust. so the Jews were saved. And I think when the Jews were saved, they should understand the pain and the sufferings of those people who are oppressed by agencies that were tasked to oppress them. The government at that, German government at that under Hitler was tasked to oppress the Jews. But that was in 1939 onwards. But as you know, the Allies won the war and put a stop to the genocide which was carried out by the German Nazis. We believe that we have learned a lesson, that this is not the way to treat fellow humans. But today we are seeing what has happened to the Jews during the Nazi regime is applied by the Jews against the Palestinians. There is no doubt that the regime, Israeli regime, led by Netanyahu, aims to get rid of all Palestinians. He didn't say so in so many words, but it is quite obvious that he would like to continue the killings until there are no more Palestinians in this world. This is what Netanyahu wants to do. And so we see them killing not just adults, not just soldiers, but civilians, men, women, children, even babies in their incubators are deprived of oxygen so that they will not survive and grow up, according to the Jews, to become members of Hamas. This has never happened in modern times. The Jews are doing this, but what is painful, what is unacceptable is that there are governments, strong governments, which seem to be supporting the Jews in their genocidal campaign. And that government is led, unfortunately, by a so-called democratic, civilized nation called America, the United States of America. The United States of America, together with the Europeans, created the country called Israel. And since then, Israel could do anything, even break international laws, and still the Americans and the Europeans would support Israel. But this time, the crime committed by Israel is totally inhuman. What they want to do is to cut off all supplies of food, medicine, and water to the people of Gaza. It is quite possible to do that. And if that goes on, 1.6 million Gazans would die because they have no water. You can survive without water for very many days. You will have no food and you will have no medicine. That is the intention of Israel. But of course, the process is taking a long time. What they do is not only must they cut off supplies to Gaza, but they must kill the people there by rockets and bombs and the like, including bombing the hospitals, the schools, even places where people seek to safety. For safety, they were bombarded with bombs and rockets. So not only are they trying to cut off supplies to Gaza, but they are also going to kill the people of Gaza. At this moment, they have killed nearly 12,000 people, 4,000 of whom were children. And this is what the Israelis are doing. But what is different from 1939 is that in 1939, when the world observed the Nazis trying to kill or commit genocide against the Jews, the world went to war against Germany. But here, nobody is fighting for the people of Gaza. In fact, the Israelis have spread the fight even to the other parts of the Palestinian land. So the intention of Netanyahu is to kill all the Palestinians. That is his final solution. But the world permits this. The world has done nothing to stop this. We don't even supply food or try to send in, as in the case of Bosnia, we were allowed to send peacekeepers, but no peacekeepers are being sent to Gaza to provide security for the Gaza. So the Gazans are now exposed to being killed by the Zionists, by the Israelis, as if this is a normal thing, to exterminate people, just like you exterminate some animals, noxious animals. They are going to exterminate the Palestinians. And this is something that others, if not the United States or Europe, others must do something to put a stop to this criminal act by the Zionists. That is why I think people should understand what is happening in Gaza and the other places in Palestine where the Palestinians are seeking refuge. Even refugee camps are bombarded by the Israelis. So I hope that with more knowledge, we can think of something we can do. And I think there are things that we can do to, if not prevent Israelis from killing the Palestinians, at least to lessen the burden of the Palestinians. Thank you. Yeah. What is worse, of course, is that the Palestinians can seek refuge in the countries surrounding Gaza. Unfortunately, apparently there are countries around Gaza which do not want to accept refugees coming from Gaza. I think that is quite unfair and inhuman. As you know, in Malaysia, we have received a lot of refugees, including lately the Rohingyas. It's not that we are going to fight against Burma, but at least we could give some kind of relief to the people trying to escape from oppression. And I hope the countries surrounding Gaza, including Egypt and Rafah, for example, should allow at least the women and children to seek refuge across the border. The men must stay back in Gaza, because if the men also seek refuge in other countries, then Israel would have conquered Gaza and occupied it as another part of Israel.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah.
Baik. Terima kasih Turki, Tun, saudara dan juga Rudy. Satu perkara yang barangkali yang saya nak share, kongsikan. This is not a conflict. Israel-Palestinian is not a conflict. This is an occupation. This is colonization. When you say it's a conflict, it's like a fair. It's a fair battle. This is nothing to do with fairness. They occupied, they took over, then they started the atrocities. 75 tahun. Bukan 7 bulan, bukan 7 tahun. Tetapi seperti yang Tun sebut tadi, the whole game is because you have a strong supporter. And we specifically identify that it's America. With whatever rhetoric about human rights, equality, and those things, international law, the United States is given the freedom to allow Israel to continuously commit such horrendous, horrific crimes. It's not just about, killing, it's genocide, it is ethnic cleansing, you name it, mass massacre, blatant. Dan itu dapat dilihat dalam dunia sekarang ini. It is, you can see right at the moment. Even if you open your telephone now, you have the breaking news. And you can just understand that this is what Israel is allowed to do. Sedikit lagi ialah bila kita bercakap tentang opening up this window, Rafah. I've been in Gaza for probably 7 times, and I know going to Rafah and queuing up, waiting for a chance to go in, it's another struggle. We understand Egypt as important player, but that is the only opening there. Gaza is 45 or 42 kilometers long, and it's about 10 kilometers wide. It is densely populated. If you just throw a stone into Gaza, it will hit anybody. It is the most densely populated area in the world. Now you are bombing like 500 kilograms of bombs, a ton, 2 tons, every day, every minute. And they are bombing by each square meters, It's like really targeting one of another. And there was one time I thought there was somewhere a safe zone. Now it's no safe zone. So I agree with Tun that we should understand this whole perspective and why it has come to this level. Bombing hospitals, right in the moment, the 3 main hospitals, Hospital Al-Shifa, Al-Quds, Hospital Indonesia, can you just imagine? They ask people to go out, and once people go out of the building, they kill them. And now they are trying to say that every Gaza is a terrorist. And they justify this, because you don't allow us to finish off Hamas, that means you are support of Hamas, and therefore you are terrorists. So this is a question. And they have the audacity of saying that this is self-defense, of all things. Logically, we can just understand this is nonsense. Jadi tak akhirnya, saudara, kita berada di sini ialah kerana, keadaan itu semakin parah. Jadi di Rafah itu, satu-satunya, yang sepatutnya Rafah itu adalah border yang tak ada kena-mengena dengan Israel. I mean, it's Egypt and Gaza. So Egypt has to understand this. Now the world is giving that signal. This is not one city. It's from London right out to Canberra, right to Sydney. People are rising up. People are saying that enough is enough. But there's no reaction from Egypt in that sense. Allow some of the nationalities to go out, but the rest, they allow them to die. Gaza is now facing not just a slow death. Gaza is now
obliterated, Gaza is going to just be finished off. And that's the whole formula. Betul lah, Netanyahu kata, not one soul Palestinians will remain. We want them to either leave or will finish it. Jadi kalau ini sudah jelas, this is very clear, and the sad thing, we are not doing anything. The whole community, the international world is not doing anything. They radically condemn on that. But real action, getting the open for the gate, and then to end the blockade, which is really against international law, it's against the Geneva Convention. You just put a list that Israel is doing the worst of any criminality action in history. So ini yang saya nak support, yang Tun sebut tadi, bahawa to understand the issue, to understand, and saya repeat, this is not a conflict, this is a clear occupation, and the occupation must end. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil mursalin wa alihi wasallam. Dear brothers, it's clearly mentioned by Chagazmi that this is occupation, is not conflict. And America, France, Britain, openly, loudly, saying that they are sending troops, they are sending weapons, they are going to kill the Palestinians. Openly, this is loudly they say. We, Muslim countries, they had, I think, 2 times already or ASEAN meetings. What is it? Condemnation. Condemnation is done by public, where they can demonstrate, they condemn Israel, we condemn America. We, for small NGO, they can condemn. But it's a big country, 57 OIC countries. How come? Only condemnation. Now we need action. So at least, as what mentioned by Tun, they open the border. We want, Lord, we want to send aid, we want to send food, we want to send water, we want to send doctors. We never say we want to send army, we never say we want to send weapons, but they openly say, why can't we say we open borders? We want to send food, we want to send medicine, we want to send peacekeepers, at least. Peacekeepers army. Why can't we do that? So this is the time. Action. No more rhetoric, condemnation, all these things. Not enough. So we don't need to have big meeting to call 57 OIC countries to just merely to condemn US. Silently last year, they are occupied. President occupied. Condemnation after condemnation is not enough. They openly say that Gaza or Palestine are human animals. And they are destroying hospitals, masjid, ambulances, patient doctors, nurses, paramedics. And they will take the patient from the ambulance to be killed or to be captured. This is nonsense. So we have to wake up. We have to send a signal, strong signal to our government, to the Muslim countries government, to the Egypt government. So we open the borders to send the aid, not to kill more people or to make the matter worse. So this is our hope that hopefully today the whole world will open their eyes and also to pressure the government so that they can do action to help people in Palestine not to be killed anymore. Allah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Shukran Azmi, dear brother Zul, dear brother and sister Anisha, first of all, may Allah bless you all of us. We ask Allah mercy for our shuhada and speed recovery for our wounded and relief for our suffering of our people in Gaza and Palestine, Uzbek and Quds. I have to mention some points, critical points. Dear brothers and sisters, we are in the historical moments and dangerous moments and critical moments. Israeli government, Netanyahu, Smotrich, Ben Gavir, by green line from US administration and some Western country, they looking and want to ending the Palestinian cause. To kill, as I told mentioned, to kill every single Palestinian, even outside Palestine. So we have to take care and organize and aware the real action and plan of the Israeli government. The looking to control and complete control al-Masjid al-Aqsa and escalation the settlement and bring the settlement to West Bank and force our people in West Bank to carry the Israeli passport or move to Jordan, or I can kill you in West Bank. And the dangerous one, what happened in Gaza? We seriously are really looking to destroy everything in Gaza and kill everyone in Gaza. The leader of Gaza, people, women, elders, children, they totally and really need that. So we have to take care. We have to, take a part and action in the right way, at least stop this madness and aggression. Our people in Gaza is still standing and still fights under the aggression, under the heavy aggression attacks, bombing everywhere, schools, masjid, hospitals, buildings. They affect everyone in Gaza. They affect every one of us, from north to south. They ask the people, please, they force the people move from north of Gaza and Gaza city to north. What happened? To south. What happened? They attacked them in everywhere. As Chico Azmi mentioned, there are no, safe zone in Gaza. So our people, they recognized that. They didn't follow the order to move to Sinai. Because seriously, there are no safe zone, even in Sinai, even in Arish, even outside Gaza. So our people are still standing, they prefer to death and die in Gaza rather than to move to the unknown, to the air, to open air, to Sinai, to death by the non-food, nothing to stay, to live there. So our people, they recognize that, still standing, still fighting in Gaza, and because they know that very well, will never move to anywhere. Israeli government then allow to us to live even in Sinai. So we have to recognize that our people do the duty in Gaza. We have to do our part. At least take the real action and enough action to end the look of the humanity into Gaza. To open Rafah border to pressure of the Western country by any tools, by any means. I know to Mahathir, he can do the best. He did the best, and he can do, inshallah, with the international community and call the international leader to stop this madness and aggression. This is not fighting on the ground. The failure to fight our mujahideen, our people, then they come and attack our civilian people in the house, in the hospitals, and everywhere in Gaza. So in Gaza, we have to know that there are no safe zone. Even in Arish and Sinai, there are nothing to live in. It's not safe zone, so we have to take care about it. And we have to support our people to continue and still standing there. By brother to open the border and allow the community to reach the city and hospitals. We did many different things and health care. Right now in Gaza and northern Gaza. So actually we are in the Again, we are in the critical moments. We have to do our part. We have to be in the same level with the Palestinian people to finish and end this madness and suffering of our people and stop this madness government and the Western countries and US administration that support the Israeli and Netanyahu. So finally, I have all the Malaysian brothers and sisters and all the Malaysian efforts. I have to say that our people in Gaza and Palestine never ever forget your efforts, never ever forget your support and solidarity. Support by media, support by protest, support by donation, support by everything. So may Allah bless you all, and please continue your efforts until, inshallah, at least open order and ceasefire and end the occupation. The real things, we are under occupation. Your efforts toward the Palestinian cause to end the occupation, inshallah. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mungkin dua soalan daripada media address Tun ataupun siapa yang dirasakan.
And now we open for Q&A session to all media members.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Tun. My name is Y.A.Bhg Tun. I'm from 92 News, Pakistan. We still remember when Honorable Tun was the Prime Minister of Malaysia during KL Summit 2019. There was a great idea was flourished that there should be a common currency of Islamic countries, common security forces of Islamic countries, and there should be unity at that level. We should start trading among the Islamic countries only. Do you think, sir, that the time has arrived that we should go and implement these kind of ideas? And if the time has arrived, what are the challenges we have to face? Thank you very much, sir.
The disappointing thing is that the rest of the world is watching this genocide being carried out. In normal circumstances, the United Nations would send peacekeepers to these countries to prevent wars being fought and to secure the people who are oppressed. But nothing is done. There are no peacekeepers being sent by the United Nations simply because the 5 veto powers would not allow it. Even if the General Assembly allows it or wants it or demands for it, if the Security Council does not agree, it doesn't happen. But there are things that other people can do. You know the American habit of applying sanctions. When they don't like a country, they apply sanctions against that country, and everybody has to follow. For example, if they apply sanctions to Iran, even Malaysia cannot do business with Iran. Not that we are supporters of America, but we know some action will be taken by America if we do not follow their instruction. But on the other hand, we can also apply sanctions. Not much, the people can. For example, if we have a boycott of all things Israel, then it will have some effect. I know today in Malaysia, people no longer patronize Starbucks or even McDonald's because these companies are Israeli companies. Even if they have been bought by other people, eventually the money goes to the founding people, the Jews in America. So this is OIC meeting. That meeting simply resulted in the OIC asking Israel to stop killing Palestinians. Well, anybody can ask Israel. We know very well that Israel will not care what the OIC says. The OIC can do something that is within its means. For example, on one occasion, the OIC set up the open to deny dia tak nak two-state solution. Bahkan Palestin tak boleh ada state, ada cuma authority, Palestinian authority, dia bukan state. Sebab itu a two-state solution. Tapi syaratnya kawasan Palestin naklah diberi balik kepada Palestin. Kita tahu bahawa Israel telah membina banyak settlement di tanah Palestin. Itu patutnya dikembalikan kepada Palestin dan boleh ada two-state solution. Tetapi di waktu ini saya tak fikir ini akan menyelesaikan masalah kerana Israel tidak nak melihat orang Palestin ada negara pun. Saya berpendapat bahawa dasar Netanyahu ialah untuk membunuh semua orang Palestin supaya dia menjadi final solution. Tak ada masalah lagi. Itulah yang dijanjikan oleh Netanyahu, walaupun dia tak sebut secara langsung, tetapi daripada tindakan dia dan cakapan dia, kita tahu bahawa bagi Netanyahu, two state bukan solution. Bagi Netanyahu, cuma ada Israel saja. Tak ada Palestin sama sekali. Okey.
Assalamualaikum Tun, saya Iskandar dari Berita Harian. Tun, pada 2011 Tun pernah bergerakkan usaha tribunal jenayah perang terhadap perang di Iraq pada 2003. Adakah Tun berhasrat untuk mewujudkan sekali lagi usaha seperti itu untuk konflik isu di Palestin ini?
Saya yang pendapat, perang bukan cara untuk selesaikan masalah. Membunuh orang bukan cara untuk selesaikan masalah. Kita klaim, kita dakwa dunia kita ini sudah bertamadun, civilized. Orang yang civilized tak bunuh orang. Di mana-mana saja, kalau kita bunuh orang, itu adalah satu jenayah. Hukum memberat. Tetapi hari ini kita masih lihat negara-negara yang maju, yang bercakap berkenaan dengan human rights, berkenaan dengan demokrasi, tetapi masih anggap perang adalah satu cara untuk selesaikan masalah. Membunuh orang adalah cara untuk selesaikan masalah. Sebab itu daripada dulu pun saya menentang peperangan. Saya nak segala masalah, segala konflik antara negara dirunding. Kita ada cara pergi ke mahkamah pun. Bila Malaysia ada problem dengan Indonesia, dengan Singapura, kita bersetuju serah kepada mahkamah. Apa mahkamah kita terima. Kerana kita gagal bila kita ada rundingan, kita tak berjaya, sebab itu kita serah kepada mahkamah. Alangkah baiknya kalau Israel yang mempunyai masalah dengan Palestin, serah perkara ini kepada mahkamah antarabangsa yang tidak terlibat, third party. Dan kita kena terima keputusan mahkamah. Seperti mana dalam negara pun, apabila kita ada masalah, kalau dalam negara kita mempunyai masalah dengan orang lain, kita boleh bunuh orang itu, tentulah masyarakat menjadi huru hara. Tetapi dalam masyarakat kita yang kita anggap sebagai bertamadun, civilized, kita terima hakikat bahawa kalau mahkamah membuat keputusan, walaupun tak memihak kepada kita, tetapi kita terima. Itu cara penyelesaian masalah. Sebaliknya antara negara-negara, mereka tidak rujuk kepada mahkamah, mereka cuba membunuh. Dan ini bermakna bahawa yang lebih kuat membunuh akan mendapat kejayaan. Dan itu bukan keadilan. Itu adalah satu kezaliman kerana negara yang kuat boleh dapat sesuatu untuk mereka, yang lemah akan gagal. Sebaliknya kalau dirujuk kepada mahkamah, maka asas keputusan mahkamah ialah sama ada dia adil ataupun tidak. Jadi saya menafi bahawa manusia sekarang ini sudah bertamadun. Manusia sekarang ini tidak ada not civilized, dah jadi orang yang jadi pemimpin dah jadi bersifat seperti kata haiwan. Itulah mereka.
Okey, sekarang masa saya bertanya Tun dan semua panel dan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian. Saya dapat maklumat ada sebuah syarikat operator yang dapat kontrak lebih kurang 900 juta baru-baru ini. It is supposedly an Israel-based company. I was told, I want everybody to check also supaya kita, let's see, what the people can do. And I'm sure we are reporters here and you can deliver what the people want. I was told that this contract is almost 1 billion and it's going to 10. So what do we do?
Di cancel. Kita kuburkan perjanjian itu karena kita tidak harus menolong sesuatu organisasi yang ada di belakang tindakan-tindakan Israel akhirnya. Sebab itu bagi saya tak ada soal lain lagi selain daripada menggugurkan janjian pembelian itu.
Okay. Yang lain, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, what do we do? Let's pressure. Let's put pressure. And we feel that now is the people. Is the suara rakyat yang boleh. Hari ini pun rakyat juga, tetapi dia suara yang besar. Jadi let's do something to make sure. Let's do the checking. Kalau betul that, because that is one of those yang kita ketahui merupakan backup of this group of people. Jadi kita nak kawan-kawan kita yang kita harap kita lebihnya reporter, influencer yang ada di sini, let's stand up, let's show what we can do. Okay? Kita pun sebenarnya kadang-kadang nak mengharapkan agensi kerajaan pun tak ada. Sekarang ni pun yang bergerak kan adalah reporter sebenarnya, banyaknya influencers. So we hope let's do something on this. Okay? Kerana saya rasa untuk maklumat ya tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian, apa yang terjadi di Israel, di Palestin hari ini, yang mengambil tanah-tanah Palestin ini, boleh sangat terjadi pada kita. Boleh sangat. Pasal kalau kita tengok, kita tanya mana Melayu Jampar? Siapa tahu Melayu Jampar di mana? Yang new generation will know tu. Betul pun tak ada. Rohingya, what can happen to us if we don't do something? Let's do something. Let's get together. Let's work together. Let's network so that we have some strength that we could put fear into these people. Boleh tu? Okay. Anything else? Last, Sidang.
Thank you very much. Tun, you understand very well that when we lost Gaza, it was 1967, it was under the control and rule of Egypt. Don't you think that there is legal and moral responsibility for Egypt first to liberate that land they lost? The Palestinians at that time, before 1967, they were not having an army. They were not allowed to keep their own arms. They were not having militia or guerrilla to fight and defend themselves. Then the Egyptians and the Jordanians and Syrians, they lost these territories: Golan Heights, West Bank, and Gaza Strip. This first thing is the morality. I can understand that we cannot ask the people, as the spokesman of Hamas said, that Allah forbid that to send their armies to liberate Palestine. We cannot imagine that, even that in this time. But we have, it's not only crisis in our generation. We have crisis that in USSR, occupied Afghanistan, and we saw how Pakistan acted in that time. And we're supporting the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, or at least they have accepted more than 5 million refugees. And Pakistan is a rich country, it's a poor country. The other thing that we saw that how the Muslim Ummah supported Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Malaysia was part of that, as I understand. We have other crises, not the first crisis in our generation. We have many crises. We saw in Syria how Turkey acted also. Why the Palestine is an exception? Why Palestine is an exception? Why the Muslim Ummah, the governments are paralyzed? Why we are not able to act? Why we are not able to send the food? We are not able to protect the children. We are not able to send medicine to the hospitals there. Or we are servant of the occupation. We are servant. Our countries maybe they became a servant of the new world order of the United States. Thank you very much.
The problem is not Israel only. The problem is the backing given by especially the United States. We know that even to commit crime openly is possible only because behind Israel there is the United States. People. They know that if they do that, other people might invade their country. But they know that America is behind them. In fact, America ignores the killings of the Palestinians and only talk about Israeli security. What security? Israel is supposed to have lost 1,400 people, but Palestine has lost 12 million people, 12,000 people, whose security is important. Is it that the security of Israel is so important that you have to kill 12,000 Palestinians? That is not fair. That is not justice. But America is not talking about justice. They created the state of Israel, and now they are backing it, even when Israel commits all kinds of crime, including killing refugees, including building settlements in Palestinian land. Against the law that is done by Israel, it is done simply because behind Israel is America and also the European countries. That is why you see what is happening today. We blame Israel, but we also blame America, the United States of America.
Just add a little bit. I think on the term, we have to use the right term, occupation, colonization. It's what's happening to Kashmir. The same thing is through and through occupation by India to Kashmir. Now, bila Dr. Tun Mahathir sebut bahawa it is the backing. Now, we have to deal with this backer, this person who this entity who is supporting. Now, when we boycott Israel, of course, that's a direct impact. We know that the strength of Israel comes from America. Therefore, the equation also to America. You have to attack America. What is the soft point of America? The dollar. Why can't the Muslim countries, 57 of them, de-dollarize? You delink from the dollar because US dollar is an inferior currency. So aside from just having people to use their consumer power, not to buy things, the government has to decide. Unless and until you go out of the domination of the so-called US dominance of world economy, then you're going to find a very difficult battle. Jadi bila doktor kata, Tun Mahathir kata, Amerika yang baik, so we have to deal with Amerika. Produk dia pun, trading dia, dan segala macam. Jadi saya kata, this is going to be a difficult part. My last word on this is that bila Israel, bila Egypt ni juga menjadi semacam terikat dengan Amerika. Egypt cannot move. Then we tell Egypt that we will now act as under the name of humanity, because what Israel is doing is barbarism. It's not just a crime, it's barbaric. Jadi apa yang harus kita buat sekarang ini ialah tell Egypt that we're not only going to go to the streets all over the world, we're going to pressure from within Egypt so that the immediate neighbor, Rafah, is going to be liberated. Now liberating Rafah alone is impossible because Egypt is listening to the signals from the US and Israel. We have to tell the Egyptians that the Ummah is to become together. So you don't be afraid. You have to have that courage because we have to defend these people. So liberate Rafah. The only way, and then it has to be not just a humanitarian pause. They vetoed ceasefire, they vetoed humanitarian pause, they vetoed everything. So what we have to do now, forget about the UN. The people of the world, we call this humanity movement, the people of the world must act, and one of the most important things is to pressure Israel, of course, but pressure Egypt. If that signal is right, then we can move into Gaza and we can do our job of healing or rehabilitating and saving the lives of people. Thank you.
All right. I think all of us must get together because now it is the power of the consumers. We don't consume, they don't get the money, but let's focus. You know, we need to have a laser-like process so that the boycott is effective. For example, we have our friends from Presma here and whatever. What we want them to do, all the mama, no more Coca-Cola. Not just no more Coca-Cola. What we want to do, we take this Coca-Cola, put that outside and ask the supplier to take back. So the impact will go to New York immediately. So can we do that? And can everybody support this so that teman-teman kawan-kawan kita ni pun bersama dan ada kekuatan. Okay? We take other things. Dato' Ali boleh? So okay, and restoran-restoran lain juga kita tidak pergi beritahu kawan-kawan kita no more Coke, so that in a few months Coke will have to see the impact, because the impact is not just here. It will go out throughout the world with the support of the media, because we have our own media now. Let's do something. Can we take that action? Okay. Okay.
It's very short. Assalamualaikum. And respected analysts, my name is Dr. Sushadan. Saya ada suara dan juga pesanan daripada sahabat dan juga ahli keluarga saya yang menetap di Amerika sekarang. Jadi basically kita semua tahu semua yang berlaku ni ada kaitan dengan Amerika, dan mereka minta saya bertanya what can they do when they are staying right there. Some of them they have the green cards. Lepas tu apakah yang boleh mereka lakukan sebagai citizen of sebagai sebahagian daripada mungkin rakyat Malaysia yang menetap di Amerika tetapi suara mereka tidak boleh didengari. Jadi apakah yang kita sebenarnya boleh bantu untuk mereka yang berada di Amerika sekarang? Jadi kalau salah seorang panelis boleh jawab soalan ini untuk saya, untuk dikemukakan kepada sahabat-sahabat kita dari keluarga yang berada di Amerika yang pada masa ini sebenarnya terkesan kan kita boycott barang Amerika, tapi ada keluarga kita Amerika tu takkan nak suruh balik Malaysia kan, suruh tetap Malaysia. Jadi apakah solusi yang mungkin kita boleh cadangkan kepada mereka? Terima kasih.
they can have a boycott. But at the moment they are demonstrating. Hundreds of thousands of people are going out on the streets in Washington, in many other cities, to demonstrate their opposition to their own government. But the government must remember this, that we are going to have a contest for presidency of the United States. Reject people like Biden, people like Trump, reject them. Don't give them any support at all. That is later. But presently, you can apply a lot of pressure in the United States itself by, say, boycotting Coca-Cola. That in alone, because America has a population of 360 million people. When 360 million people boycott Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is going to fail. Malaysia is only 33 million people. We are small, but even then, it has an effect. There are many little things that we can do. The important thing is to have the will to do it. We can work out what can be done by ordinary people in Malaysia and in the United States that will cause their government to listen to their voices. Today we see a dichotomy. Government has got a different stand from the people. The people are coming out by the hundreds of thousands. In London, for example, 600,000 people came out to protest this genocide. It's not a question of religion. This is not about religion. It is about humanitarian problem. Whether they are Muslim or Christians or whatever, we cannot allow people to go around killing people. That is a crime. Killing by people who are helpless, shooting at babies. Can you accept that? So we have to do something about this. We the people. If the government cannot act, we the people must act. So I would say that we would learn, we would try to identify what we can do. We have demonstrated in the streets, but that is just one way of doing it. But there are other ways, and I hope that we can think up of different things we can do in order to get our government to have a very strong stand. For example, our government at the OIC meeting nearly asked the Israelis to stop killing people. The Israelis are not going to stop. But we can, for example, boycott Israeli products and maybe deny supplies of whatever is important to their war effort. So this is an ongoing struggle, and we must not lose spirit in carrying out our struggle.
Baik. Terima kasih Pak Kito.
Suara orang campak. Last. Boleh? Orang campak. Ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Jamal Abdul Nasir Ahmad dari Cambodian Humanitarian Justice Organization. Saya tersentuh pengurusi tadi sebut pasal campak ini. Kami bersedia untuk mendapatkan negara kami balik jika ada negara yang backup kami, insyaAllah. Seperti mana Inggeris dan Amerika backup Israel. Okey, itu pertama. Soalan saya, sebenarnya kita dianjurkan supaya kita dengan isu politik ini jangan isu Palestin dengan dipolitikan. Tapi realitinya tidak, sekarang ini dipolitikan. Soalan saya, adakah isu Palestin ini baru jadi hanya bulan ini saja ataupun daripada tahun 46? Ada baru jadi dah lama dah.
Jadi soalan saya ialah apa rahsia yang kerajaan Malaysia dulu sejak 57 membantu rakyat Palestin yang disiksa, yang dihina, yang dikecam, yang dibunuh. Soalannya tu, apa rahsianya bantuan Malaysia sebelum ini? Kerajaan dulu membantu rakyat Palestin sejak 60 tahun lebih. Jadi kita dituduh sekarang ini kerajaan Malaysia sekarang tidak membantu rakyat Palestin, dipolitikkan. Jadi saya tak tahu apakah yang sebelum ini kerajaan Malaysia membantu rakyat Palestin. Assalamualaikum.
Ya. Tindakan yang boleh diambil oleh kita agak terhad. Tetapi memang ada tindakan yang boleh diambil. Dalam bangsa-bangsa bersatu umpamanya, kita perlu mendesak. Walaupun tak berjaya, desakan patut diadakan. Kenapakah sementara di mana tempat berlaku peperangan, United Nations boleh hantar peacekeepers untuk kurangkan pembunuhan. Tetapi di Gaza tak ada cadangan untuk hantar peacekeepers. Kenapa? Kerana Amerika mengguna veto untuk menyekat bangsa-bangsa bersatu daripada mengambil tindakan. Jadi sebab itu saya salahkan Amerika Syarikat. Tetapi Amerika Syarikat tidaklah menekan rakyat mereka yang berdemonstrasi. Jadi kita kena kenalkan semua golongan-golongan manusia di seluruh dunia yang anti pembunuhan beramai-ramai ini, supaya kita mendesak dengan satu nada, yaitu menekan kerajaan-kerajaan supaya tidak menyokong Israel. Itu satu cara. Sama ada dia akan berjaya ataupun tidak, itu soal lain. Soalnya apakah tindakan yang boleh kita ambil. Sebab itu bagi saya, perhimpunan seperti ini diguna untuk menjelaskan masalah dan cara-cara kita mengatasi masalah. Mungkin kurang berkesan, tetapi kalau ramai di seluruh dunia mengambil tindakan, umpamanya memboikot Coca-Cola. Saya ingat kalau seluruh dunia boikot Coca-Cola, company itu pun akan mereka. Jadi jumlah bilangan, walaupun tindakan itu bukanlah kuat sangat, tapi bila jumlah seluruh dunia, maka dia akan berkesan. Sebab itu kita perlu ada hubungan antara grup yang protes tentang tindakan Israel ini, mesti ada networking antara kita dengan mereka supaya kita bercakap dengan nada yang sama dan kita bertindak dengan cara yang sama. Terima kasih.
Right, first I thought as a panelist, I would like to invite all of the audience for a photo session in front of the stage. Silakan, kita ambil gambar 1 minit. Pantas. Sudah di depan stage menghadap ke belakang. Silakan. Aduh, balance clear lah. Okay, sudah ada saja mungkin little bit not on. Belakang.
Okay. Terima kasih. As we draw the curtains, I want to extend my deepest appreciation to Yang Amat Berbahagia Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Your leadership has truly elevated us. Your commitment to help the people of Gaza has inspired us all, and we are honored to have had you lead our conference today. Terima kasih. Thank you once again to our distinguished VIPs, to the members of the press, NGOs, and to all who have been part of this important conference. Let us move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and the commitment to building a better future for Gaza, inshallah. Safe travel and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, alhamdulillah, terima kasih semua kepada penonton, pada follower yang mengikuti live pada pagi ini. Jadi alhamdulillah kita baru saja bersiaran secara langsung bersama yang hormat Yang Berbahagia Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad dan juga bersama Ppim serta dengan Mapim Malaysia untuk kita sama ikuti perkongsian dan juga bantanganlah sepakat semua atas penindasan dan sekatan yang dibuat kepada Gaza, kepada Palestin. InsyaAllah kami boleh Dewan TV kita bersama Sekatan Bantuan Holdings untuk kita terus menyokong dan kita akan meneruskan juga usaha seperti yang disebutkan Tun Mahathir, seperti usaha memboikot produk-produk yang juga dikeluarkan oleh pihak-pihak mereka yang bersekutu dengan Palestin dan Gaza untuk kita tentang habis-habisan. Mungkin tidak dapat melalui cara kita menghukum mereka, menggertak mereka, tapi mungkin dengan cara kita memboikot atau usaha kita sebagai usaha juga untuk kita bersama-sama dengan rakyat Malaysia dan seluruh dunia menentang kezaliman dan juga penindasan yang dilakukan kepada Palestin khususnya. Jadi kita ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua yang menonton, semua para penonton yang bersama dalam live dengan TV. InsyaAllah kita akan kongsi lagi untuk acara yang akan datang. Kami juga mendoakan semoga anda semua sihat dan selamat, dan mudah-mudahan apa yang kita lakukan ini, usaha yang kita lakukan ini menjadi sebesar rahmat dan keberkatan kepada Allah SWT. Dan juga kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Ppim Syarikat Y.A.Bhg Holdings atas keizinan bersama dengan kita untuk live pada hari ini, insyaAllah. InsyaAllah kita akan kongsi dengan anda juga suasana di ini, kita serah kepada tim operator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Gambar.